Hello, this is Alex from FCOD Gaming. Today we are taking a look at a game that is going to be beta released here shortly. It's called Sol Zero. Basically, the point of this game is to colonize Mars. It's a very fun game, a good time killer, and very playable considering that it's not even beta released yet. It's being produced by Chondrite Games. Basically being developed by one guy named Evan. And it's available for Windows, Mac, and Linux. Right now, you can purchase the alpha for $2.99 at their website, which I'll give a link to down in the description. And once it releases to beta, it's going to be $3.99. So a relatively inexpensive game, and for the price, I think it's definitely worth getting. It is a little bit buggy, which I'll get into when we're actually playing the game. But considering that it's pre-beta, yeah, I think it's very well put together. So anyway, we'll go ahead and get into the game here. Now, I have played a few different times and had some success, but I'm going to go ahead and overwrite this one just because I kind of messed it up. So the first screen that you get to is your launch screen. So basically, as you can see here, you get 120 sols in between launches, which I believe is equivalent to a Martian day. I could be wrong on that, but yeah. The way that I like to start out is with a rover, an astronaut, and enough food and water to basically last for a little bit of time. And then supplies. Supplies are going to be your building blocks. Anything that you build in your colony is going to be made up of supplies. So, and I'll get into the other options here in a little bit, but we can go ahead and launch this one and get started. And it gives you a little bit of an animation there, which you're able to skip. I'll go ahead and just let you watch it for the first time. A little loading screen, which takes you to the main game. All right, so here we are. This is one of the many maps that you can explore. Now, the maps aren't like randomly generated or anything like that, but there are enough maps that provide different challenges that you know, it's definitely definitely got some replay value there. Now, the first thing that you're going to want to do is deploy your rover and start exploring, and I'm going to do that right away and kind of go over here, and I'll kind of explain what's going on here. Up in the upper right hand corner, you have the list of all of the supplies that you have. Now, right away, you're not going to have any of these supplies because you have to mine them, basically. But yeah, later in the game, that's going to become relatively important. Down here, you have how much power you're producing, which right now is 0. How much water you have stockpiled, and how much you're using a day or gaining a day. Which, again, right now, I don't have any people deployed. So my food and my water are staying relatively constant. And how many people you have deployed anyway, compared to how many you can support, which each capsule can support 2 people or 2 astronauts. And then in order to support colonists, you have to have habitats set up and all the good things that go with that, which I will explain here shortly. But right now what I'm doing is I'm looking for deposits of ice with my rover. Now, when you find a deposit of ice, you can build a water extractor, basically, and have a constant supply of water, so you don't have to keep resupplying yourself from Earth. Which sometimes can take a little bit of effort finding that. I kind of wish there was a game mechanic, at least for water starting out, where you could kind of figure that out beforehand. But I mean, it's not a game killer really. It just takes a little bit of time. And I know I have thought about my first mission just doing a rover, kind of getting the lay of the land, and then kind of going from there. And my second mission, or my second landing, having the astronaut come out and actually start building things. But for right now, we're just going to do it all in one launch. Hopefully, I find some water soon and we can get to building some stuff here. And it definitely took me longer to find the water than I had anticipated. So this is why I'm fast forwarding through this part and doing a little bit of post commentary. As I'd mentioned, it would kind of be nice if you could see somewhat of like hotspots for like ice or something like that. But yeah, it's you can't really fault it. It doesn't make the game unplayable. It just makes it a lot more time consuming. So, and as we get into the second launch there, I do finally explore enough to find ice. So I will get back to past me and let him finish the review. Okay, so we found water. Our next step is to harvest that water and then set up some food production, set up some oxygen extraction, and basically prepare our colony for colonization, which is kind of the point of the game. So I'm going to deploy my astronaut, and as you notice, that starts taking water and food. Now, if I right-click on the capsule, which is where or select the astronaut, right-click on the capsule, he's going to go ahead and pick up some supplies. Now, after he has supplies, you click Build, and the first thing I'm going to build is a solar array. And I'm just going to put that right off to the side here, kind of out of the way. And while he's going over there, I'm going to deploy my forklift and tell him to go ahead and automate. Now what that's going to do is anytime there's an uncompleted construction project, the forklift is going to bring over the supplies that it needs, which is very convenient. Now I should be able to pick a supply up from the forklift. There we go. And we're going to go ahead and build a water cryo tank. I'm going to go ahead and put that relatively close up here. Get that going, and as he slowly makes his way over there, you will notice the forklift then figures out, hey, I need one more supply over there, so I'm going to go ahead and bring it to him. Another thing that you can do, which is very convenient, is if you know that you're going to be building in a certain area, you can drop down a pallet. And I'll show you how to do that here. Basically, that just keeps you from walking back and forth and getting construction materials and then getting annoyed because you are spending all your time walking. So we're going to go ahead and build a pallet, and we'll build it up here because I'm going to make the main hallway of my base right here. Okay. And when you have the forklift automated, it automatically fills that with supplies as long as you have supplies to fill it with, which again is very convenient. I like the forklift addition to the game. It makes it a lot more playable. So anyway, we'll go ahead and build a, let's see here. I took my supply. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and make a hallway here. We'll make the hallway right there. And then I'm going to make a 4-way hallway. and connect it to the end here. And then I'm going to build a greenhouse so that I can start producing food. Now the greenhouse doesn't need any specific resources. It just needs to be at the end of a hallway like this one. You can put it down here or over here or wherever. It just has to be at the end of the hallway. So, and we'll let the forklift come by and finish that construction. Awesome. And we'll go ahead and grab a supply off there. And I'm going to need to build another solar panel, apparently. Now, if you run out of power, you run out of people, you run out of food, water, whatever, the game kind of auto-balances, which isn't the greatest thing because it can kind of make it hard to recover from a disaster. But eventually, if I run without enough power to power everything here, stuff is going to start breaking down and destroying itself. So, which isn't great, but it's, you know, part of the game. And it's, you know, better than other ways that they could have done it. So anyway, I'm going to do my third launch here and basically load up on supplies. I'm good as far as water goes. I'm good as far as food goes. So I'm just going to completely fill it with supplies. Maybe a little bit of food. Actually, what I'm going to do, so I'm going to have a methane extractor so I can have it refuel itself so that I can just get it out of the way. Okay, so we'll go ahead and land that one there. And the forklift is going to go ahead and fill its pallet up. And I'm going to send my astronaut over here. And I'm going to go ahead and build a oxygen generator. And then I'm going to go ahead and build a habitat. And I might as well put another greenhouse down as well. Actually, I'm going to put another solar panel down first. And then I'm going to put down another greenhouse. So, also, another mechanic of the game is the oxygen flow as far as your colony goes. Right now, you can see that little green beacon on top of the hallway. That means that it's full of oxygen. If I click on it here, it's at a full, it's at a full 20%, which that's the highest that it can go. Down here, I can open up this bulkhead, which opens up the bulkhead between these two hallways, and this guy is going to start filling up with oxygen as well. I'm not sure exactly what the ratio is as far as hallways and all that stuff, but I do know that you have to have an open airway to all your habitats. You don't need them to the greenhouses and the labs and that stuff, but I usually do just because it bothers me if they're not. Kind of makes it a little bit more realistic, but whatever. And I'm going to go ahead and build another greenhouse. And kind of go from there. So, as of right now, we're good on water. We are producing 3.2 liters of water a day, more than what I'm drinking. And with that new greenhouse, I'm making 2 kilograms more food than what I'm eating. Now, as I get more and more colonists, that's going to obviously increase the demand, so you need more supply, and everything good that goes with a city building game such as this one. So I'm going to go ahead and build another oxygen generator. Get myself out of the way first. Go ahead and build that. And I'm going to go ahead and get kind of set up for building a launch pad. Okay, so I've got this launch pad now, and it's going to finish up with this forklift. I do need to pressurize these guys and that guy. And we've got a launch pad. Yay! Okay, so what we're going to have to do here is we're going to launch, and hopefully this works. And we're going to launch the bigger rocket. Yeah, look at that big phallic symbol. And we're going to launch some colonists. And I guess a bulldozer. And a bunch of supplies. And that should be good. We'll watch this guy take off. Okay. So now that we have this launch pad, we can get the bigger rockets. As you can see, my population jumped up to 5, 4 colonists plus the astronaut. And yeah, that's a good little start. I am going to need to figure out how to make more water. And I'm going to need to figure out how to make more food. But I think I'm going to play off camera for a little while. And yeah, kind of show you how far we get after a couple hours. Alright, so welcome back. As you can see, I did do quite a bit of expanding on our original base. Let me kind of show you what's going on here. I have a refinery up here, which takes the clay, gypsum, and methane, or clay, gypsum, and ore, and transfers them into usable products. I have a biology lab that upgrades the farms down here. I have a geology lab, which basically makes the refinery work, and some geothermal power, and more than enough water, more than enough food production, and yeah, a couple other things going on. Got my mining rigs there, just parked off to the side, and right now I have a population of 24, which includes the 3 astronauts that I've got running around. So, as I was saying, this is a pretty good game, especially for the price. It's like I said, it's currently $2.99. Once it gets beta released, it's going to be $3.99, and I would say that it's well worth the money. So until next time, thanks for watching.